I am back from vacation and ready to look at the Bitcoin charts and, of course, to consider buying the dip. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and all of the news that's driving the markets today. Stay tuned. What is up, everybody? I'm Scott Melker, also known as the Wolf of All Streets, and today we're going to take a look at Bitcoin and all of the news that's driving the markets. But first, please subscribe to the channel and go ahead and hit that like button down below. Do me a favor, it helps the algorithm, or something like that, as all the YouTubers continue to say. So I'm going to dive right in. I want to take a look at the Bitcoin chart, and today we're going to focus on the larger time frames, on the macro, the monthly, weekly, and the daily chart to see what's going on. Because remember, as I always say, when in doubt, zoom out. Don't get lost in the lower time frames trying to analyze every small move. It will get you wrecked and you will lose your money. So let's take a look here at the Bitcoin monthly chart, which is an absolute beauty. Nothing bearish here, and you're not going to convince me otherwise. This chart is absolutely marvelous. We have this ascending channel that price has been traveling in since 2013. We have a touch at the bottom, top, lost the EQ. That's the equilibrium, that 50% level. Traced all the way back down for a perfect touch on the bottom, back up to the EQ, flipped the EQ to support, and has done nothing but go up since. This is a bullish chart. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight months of green, or in my case, gray candles. There is nothing bearish about this chart. Zoom out. Even big dips here are clearly for buying when you have a chart this bullish. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the weekly chart. We have some levels that I've notched off here that you can take a look at. I don't think we'll be revisiting 19,891, but anything's possible. The next level above that is 28,387, then 41,986, and then of course 58,367. Each of those were levels where Bitcoin topped off, made a high, and then consolidated before pushing up again. So they should be strong support if retested. The question is, of course, whether they will be retested or not. We saw that the 41,986 level was almost retested, but front run, as often happens. That's why you never set your orders directly on a line. You set them above, because the big players like to make sure that you don't get that perfect entry. Trying to be perfect is a trader's worst enemy. You do not want to do that. So generally, if you're trying to buy around a support level, you might want to spread a few orders above, below, and make sure that you definitely fill and catch your full order. You can see that we had made a high at 58,367 and temporarily broke it on the weekly chart close yesterday, but that was not meant to be. We have fallen below. So I'd really like to see us trading again above 58,367. But again, this is a very, very bullish chart. There's nothing overtly bearish about this at all. Now let's zoom in and take a look at the daily chart, because there's a lot to see here. As you can see, we had this macro bull flag that I've talked about so many times that we broke out of on the big Tesla pump. You can see that the target of this was roughly 63,343. We ultimately made it to 61,960 or so, just below 62,000. Now listen, you don't expect that targets are going to hit exactly, patterns to play out exactly. I consider that pattern played out. I think we came close enough to the target within about $1,000, and that's done. That does not mean we won't go higher. It just means that if you were trading this bull flag, that is done. As you can see here, we have a key support level at around 52,640. If we continue to see a further dip, I'll be looking to that area for support, and below that, maybe the 50 MA, but I really don't foresee us going down that low. It's important to note, even though we're not looking at the 4-hour chart here, there was an amazing analysis that I read on Twitter, which said that every single Monday for the last almost 2 months, we've seen a dip first thing in the morning. I'm in Eastern Standard Time, so maybe it's during the day in Asia and Europe. We've seen a dip, the first few 4-hour candles go down. Everybody panics, of course, but those end up being the lows for the entire week. There's only the 1 week in February where we had a continued correction where that was not the case, but really, really good analysis there, and something to watch to see that we are consistently seeing sell-offs first thing at the beginning of the week on Monday, and then seeing price rise from there. Now let's dig into a few of the news stories that seem to be driving markets, or at least are very interesting here. First, we have a story in the block that says Bitcoin falls near 55,000 level as over 1 billion in crypto futures are liquidated. The price of Bitcoin has fallen near 55,000 from around 61,000 on Saturday, where it was, as derivatives positions worth over 1 billion get forth liquidated by crypto exchanges. That means crypto exchanges liquidated traders over leveraged positions. As we know, traders over leverage or trade on margin, thinking that Bitcoin price will go up and they will benefit from the price move by many multiples. But what ends up happening is they lose all of their money because price goes below their liquidation price and the exchange takes it all. What's the lesson here? Don't be a jackass and trade with high leverage. If you are going to trade with leverage and you're an advanced trader, use very low leverage, 5x, 2x. If you really want to push it, maybe 10x. But just remember that you are not turning your $1,000 into $10,000. You're just most likely taking a much higher chance that you're going to lose the $1,000 that you put in. Do not over leverage and miss these moves. All you've ever had to do here is buy Bitcoin and wait. Buy it spot and wait. Very simple. Next story, Bitcoin can rise to $175,000 by the end of 21, says Diginex CEO Richard Byworth. How did he come to this? Well, they ran some financial models to come to the number.
What price will it be for Bitcoin?
I think we're modeling out about 175,000.
But what's more interesting is why he thinks that will happen. It's because of massive money printing programs and the devaluation of the dollar, which are having a push effect on Bitcoin as institutional investors are facing negative returns. And many realize Bitcoin is a way better store of value than gold. Imagine that. People are actually viewing Bitcoin as a good store of value. Now, I had Richard Byworth on my podcast. You should check that out because he talked about all of this and more many, many months ago before we even saw this level of price appreciation. And he was foreseeing it back then. But what's interesting also is his number of 175,000 by the end of the year is somewhat conservative. If you've watched my videos before, you know that I did a big average of all of the grand models, everyone from $1,000 at the end of the year to $1 million, and the average was around 235,000. So I think that 175,000 is actually a pretty conservative guess. Now, in more entertaining news, we have Elon Musk officially dubbing himself the techno king of Tesla, and Zach Kirkhorn, the CFO, is the master of coin. This has been officially filed with the SEC as their official titles. Now, interestingly, a lot of speculation when you see the name Master of Coin. It sounds like Tesla is potentially going to add more Bitcoin to its recent purchase of $1.5 billion. And as you may have heard, and this is just absurd because they only bought recently, but Tesla has already made more money buying Bitcoin than it has earned selling Teslas ever. More buying Bitcoin in the last few months than ever selling their cars. Now, if Zach Kirkhorn is the master of coin, that would make him Littlefinger, although then Littlefinger goes to the Eyrie and it becomes Tyrion, and then Tyrion gets accused of killing Joffrey and it becomes Mace Tyrell, and then Mace Tyrell dies, then the job is vacant, and then eventually Bronn takes the job. But anyways, if master of coin is Littlefinger, does that mean Elon Musk is Robert Baratheon? Tywin Lannister? Definitely not Joffrey. Tell me in the comments who you think Elon Musk is if Zach Kirkhorn is, in fact, the master of coin. And to conclude, I just love this. Take a look at Beeple's reaction on selling his NFT 13-year work at Christie's for $69 million. Clear that a new era for art has evolved here. Viva blockchain, viva Bitcoin. Take a look at this video.
The work of a bunch of people in the crypto community as well.
Hey Mike, this is Jason. I just want to say congratulations. You're at 25,250,000. Crazy, man.
Jesus Christ, what the f***?
Oh my God! 50 million! What? Oh my God!
69 million. I think it probably means digital art is here to stay. I'm going to Disney World.
That's it, everyone. That's all of the news and charts that are driving the market today. Once again, please subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and read about everything I have to offer in the description, my newsletter, and my sponsor, Femex. I will see you guys very soon, probably tomorrow. So until then, peace.